Alrighty. Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of the Full Send Half Mass Podcast, episode number 88. Tonight we're going to be talking about the IndyCar Championship being decided at Nashville this weekend. The end of the IndyCar. Oh, it's such a heartbreaker. And then we'll talk about Watkins Glen for some NASCAR action. And particularly one driver we want to brag on here tonight, or at least particularly I want to brag on him. He did a fantastic job this weekend. And then as well as F1 at Baku, and then also we missed it last week. We didn't even preview it. I completely spaced it. The World Endurance Championship at Fuji. So that was the second to last round there. So we'll talk about all that with you guys here tonight. We got a little bit of news, and then we'll preview this weekend's races at Bristol for the ARCA Xfinity Truck and Cup, as well as F1 at Singapore, and then the Battle at the Bricks weekend for the IMSA series this weekend in Indianapolis. Super excited for that as well. And as well as our driver and bonehead of the weeks. And then we'll go over some of the point standings in WAC F1 as well as the Cup Series going into the cut race at Bristol. But first off, I got Tom with me tonight. Tom, how you doing, man? Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Me too, man. All right, well, I say let's start off with some news. I mean, some typical little news here. We got Callum Ilott to Prima 2025 confirmed. Heck yeah. I like Callum Ilott. I'm excited to see. He was one of those drivers like David Malukas, Callum Ilott, Teo Porcher, like a bunch of these guys that jumped in that McLaren car this year and maybe had hit or miss races and kind of got screwed by the old Zach Clown Brown. But yeah, I'm excited to see what he could do. What we had is he the first driver confirmed to Prima that we know of? Heck yeah. That's a driver to build around. Yeah, me too. I'm excited. The more the merrier in IndyCar is the way I look at it. So it's gonna be good. Gonna get Callum Milo an opportunity. I'm gonna be pulling for him next year to do some good stuff. Also in the IndyCar room, Rosenquist, Felix Rosenquist, that is an extension with MSR. Dub move, I think, by both parties there. I don't think you could go wrong with that decision. Yeah, the only thing that gets me about the Rossi thing is the affiliation they have with Andretti. I don't know if Andretti would be okay with Rossi coming back into their fold. Yeah. Any sports car driver? I mean, that'd be a good fit. You can run some sports car stuff. Yeah. I agree. I would like to see that happen. I mean, there's not really a lot of options for Rossi at the moment. I think this would probably be out of all of the options available. I think this would be the best one. So I'd like to see it. Also, Liam Lawson potentially rumored to go to V Carb announcement in Singapore. Ooh, dang! Daniel Rick's gonna get the boot. Oof, I don't blame him. Yeah, I don't blame him. Yeah, we'll get to that today for sure. I can't wait to talk about that. Yeah, I'll be excited to see Liam Lawson move into V Carb. I think him and a Sonoda combo there would be pretty good. I mean, they both be able to challenge each other and compete against each other. It'd be good. Uh, yeah, I don't know where Sonoda's gonna go though. I mean, there's no empty seats, is there? Really? Besides maybe the one at Audi, but there's so many rumored people going there. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, but I agree. Dub move for sure. Also, we've heard this rumor, we've talked about it. Hyundai to the World Endurance Championship, man. I am so excited to see this happen, dude. Like, what is it? The Genesis they're bringing to the World Endurance Championship. This is gonna be some good stuff, man. There's already way like a huge field of hypercars. We're gonna add another couple to the fold here with Hyundai. We've seen what they've been able to do in the GT4 stuff and even like the TCR, the front wheel drive stuff before. So, I wonder what they can do in a hypercar. I'm excited to see. Hell yeah. I'm here for it, dude. That might be a new segment on the podcast. Oh man. And I didn't read on there. Did it say it was 2025 or was it another? It is 25. Thanks. They've been developing this for a while. Then I didn't see the date on there. I kind of was assuming it maybe it was 26. Yeah, so it could be 2026 is what I'm thinking. But still, what 2026? That'd be the time where they get the new regulations as well. Where yeah, because watch and see what Toyota and Porsche and Ferrari do with the new regulations, then try to beat their car. That I feel like that'd be the smartest thing to do. So, yeah, I'm excited. Also, Connor Zilic, full time junior motorsports in 2025. I'm super excited about this man. No, no, I didn't either. Oh man. Oh, and he's running the double or triple duty this weekend. He's running ARCA truck, and then he's getting on a plane going to Indianapolis to go run in the Battle of the Bricks in the LMP2 car. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty crazy what he's going to be doing this weekend. I think he can win all three. I'm excited to talk about that. Yeah, yeah. I feel like that's the thing with NASCAR fans. They don't realize that he does the sports car thing. That's kind of his main gig. I mean, it really. Uh, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what Zilich can do. I can't wait to talk about his dominant performances here this weekend as well at Watkins Glen. But last one, Toyota V8 supercar manufacturer. Uh, I must have missed this one, Tom. Hmm. I hope so. I do too. I don't know. Kyle Busch has expressed interest, but I don't know if he would be able to do it. I don't know. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I bet Larson does it. Larson will show up at the Bathurst 1000 one of these years. Yeah, he'll go down the hill and just absolutely TKO the wall. Hung money, man. Yeah, I'm excited. That's awesome. I We still need a joint venture somewhere somehow. I mean, a double header, I don't really care. Let's do a double header at the Daytona Road Course, then we'll run it back and do like a double header at like Bathurst or something. That'd be freaking awesome. So, yeah, that's it for news. I say let's get right into race recaps here, Tom. I feel like that's about time. Um, my notes for the ARCA race was pretty cut and dry. Connor Zilic dominance. I don't think there's anything else to say. I think I called it last week in the podcast. I said at one point, I think he'll be up by like 15, 20 seconds. I think he was. What a dominant race by Connor Zilic. What an absolute Chad. What is he undefeated so far this year in ARCA? Unbelievable. Oh, that's right. He did. Because, yeah, William Swalch won that race. I forgot about that too. You're right. I did forget about that. Dang. But still, I mean, to only lose one race in like 7 starts or 8 starts or something. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. That's nuts, bro. Like, best race car driver in the world? Is it too soon? I don't think so, man. Oh, dude, this dude is like the next coming of like what did you say? You said Max Verstappen, or what did you say, Fernando, or who would you say? When you Scott Dixon. That was your comparison. He is a complete Scott Dixon. I think he could do F1 tomorrow and be competing at the top level. I really do. I think he's got what it takes. I mean, I don't know. Maybe in F2, he'd have to go in there and see what he could do. But I don't know, man. There's just so much raw talent there, and it's like how like at 18 years old, how much like how did you get all that raw talent? It's insane. Just natural. Yeah, lots of Red Bull. Yeah, maybe. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's a good episode. Oh man. All right. Yeah, there's nothing else I want to talk about Dark Race. I mean, that was just pure dominance. There's just really nothing else to say besides Connor Zillage dominance. So talk about the Xfinity Series race. He backs it up again with getting the pole on Saturday and wins stage one. Uh Byron wins stage two through some strategy. But let's talk about Zillage at the end of that race stretching it on fuel. I mean, I was worried. I was worried. Yeah. In a car he's unfamiliar with. I mean, it's not like he knows all the little tricks and stuff that all those other guys full time know, how to save fuel. Like that's insane to me. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Stretching enough fuel. Uh yeah, and like I said, we had all those green light checkers at the end, like Byron and Hill wrecking, Jones and or Brandon Jones skiing having a wreck. But Zilic, yeah, he hung on, got the win. The Hornets desk behind him, I believe it was what Creed, SVG, Allmendinger, maybe another couple guys in that mix battling out behind him. Another second place finish for Sheldon Creed. Just wanted to bring that up as well. Isn't that back to back runner ups? I did not. I didn't catch it this week. Oh man, he's gonna win the championship this year, bro. I'm calling it right now. He's gonna freaking win the final race at Phoenix. He's gonna pull the Hemrick. Yep, 100%, dude. And then after he wins the championship, he's gonna have to run another year of Xfinity, but still, he'll get that first win and the championship all in one night. It's gonna be great. But yeah, Zilich. God, I just love watching Zilich, man. He's such a great driver. Out of all the young drivers coming up, Zilich is definitely on my list. Corey Day, we'll talk about that here in a minute with the ARCA race because he's going to be in the field. The teammates with Zilich. I'm excited to see how that works out. We said it last year. What Bristol for the ARCA race is like the Super Bowl Daytona 500 of ARCA series. Like this field is stacked. We'll talk about it here in a minute when we get to previewing it. But yeah, it's the Connor Zilich first start, first career win. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I think he'll be Cup Series in 2 years. I just don't think he can hold it back. Alrighty. I don't really want to spend too much time on the F2 races. In the sprint race, Dirksen ends up winning. Got kind of a little bit of a strategy call there with a late race safety car when Miata crashed, and that gave him the lead. He ends up hanging on to win the sprint race there in Baku. But then the did you see that freaking opening start of the F2 race where my or what was it, Mini or Miney didn't even go off the initial start and piled up about 6, 7 cars. One of them went upside down at the initial start at Baku. Oh my goodness, man. It was a clown show, dude. It was hilarious, bro. Yeah, they piled up probably 6 of them off the opening lap. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. The most F2 thing. Wasn't it last year where we showcased like that 6 car pileup in a turn one in the F2 race at Baku last year? Oh my goodness. F2 Baku is just thrilling. No, they didn't even make it to turn one. Oh no, that was maybe in the sprint race. I can't remember. I watched it the highlights the other day, so I would have to go back and look at it. But I know Maloney end up the points that are Maloney end up getting turned around by Antonelli running up in the front. Uh Kind of in the same situation as last year, with that crazy wreck. But yeah, for sure end up winning the Baku Grand Prix for F2, which was a big win for him. But yeah, interesting racing. I know that there's what, two more rounds left in this F2 season. With Maloney having his incident there with Antonelli, it kind of changes the points picture there with everything happening in the F2 landscape. So we'll keep you guys posted on that as that championship winds down as well. But I do want to move into the Azerbaijan Grand Prix for Formula One. Uh, Leclerc, unbelievable weekend in practice qualifying. He was the fastest car throughout most of the weekend. Unbelievable job getting the thing on pole. Lando started towards the rear of the field, drove through the field. What a great race he put together. Honestly, I was surprised that he was can't go. Lando was able to do what he did behind the wheel of that car going through the field. Uh, but Piastri ends up cycling to the lead past Leclerc, and those two battled for probably what 20, 25 laps back and forth. God, that was such a great race, man. I was really kind of hoping Leclerc would win. I do like Piastri, but I was really kind of hoping Leclerc would win that race for the sake of Ferrari, you know. But Piastri did great, man. He managed to lead with all the pressure that Leclerc was putting on him. I mean, it's not much more you can ask for. I mean, that was a great win. He earned this one this time. He gets to keep it instead of Hungary, where uh, kind of got screwed out of it with strategy. So yeah, great race there by by Leclerc, man. I like that. Yes. Yes. Yeah, it was such a great race. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. It was like battle for the lead was that close for the majority of the race. But I really want to talk about the man that I picked in last week's podcast. It's over. It's over. He's not winning this year. Just write him off now. Yeah, what the hell was Sergio Perez and Carlos Sainz doing there with 2 laps to go in that race, man? What was that action? Battle for the podium, obviously. Both really important points for the Constructors' Championship, right? Like they both are ahead. They're going to score more points than McLaren. That'll get Ferrari back in the mix. Red Bull's going to maintain their lead. It looks good. And then what the hell happened there, Tom? I don't understand it. Yes. Yeah, he's an idiot, man. Yeah, that's why I'm nominating him for Bonehead of the Week, man. He had a great week. The best race of the year he's had to date. And he threw it away. He threw it away. Oh, what the hell? Oh man, I can't. I can't with Perez, man. That was ridiculous. Not only that, but it hurts in the standings. Like, we'll look at the constructor standings real quick, but what is McLaren's now up 20 points over Red Bull, 51 over Ferrari. Imagine if they'd have finished third, fourth, where the standings would be now. It would be they would all be right on top of each other. Insane. What is going on there? I mean, ridiculous. A whole bunch of stupid. Oh man. And then yeah, so that with that wreck happening, Leclerc obviously P2, and then Russell comes home in a podium. Lando gets a fast lap, so Lando also gets a bonus point plus a couple extra positions at the end of the race. So that helps him in the championship. So not only is Perez ruining it for Red Bull as manufacturer, he's screwing his own teammate out now. What the hell? Yeah, because the driver standings, what Verstappen's 59 points over Norris now, so he did shrink some points out of it, and then Leclerc 78 points back. So, I mean, it's even tightening up even more now. We got what, 7 races to go. I mean, I don't know, man. That was just dumb. I don't get it, man. I don't get Perez. Oh man, I think you jinxed it with the podcast last week. You said something about the ghost of Pastor Maldonado was gonna show up, and I think that might have happened. Yeah. Oh man, it was a great race. It got some drama at the end. I mean, I can't really ask for much more than that. This F1 season's just been insane. I've just enjoyed every bit of it. Yeah, no doubt. Tim Henderson says he can't hear us. I don't understand. Oh, you know what? Did this just freeze on me? I think I'm frozen. I think it's frozen. Um. Oh, it's unfrozen now. That's crazy. How long were we frozen? And now your audio's not working. What happened?
Oh, I've
Everything
been
just
muted the
broke.
whole time.
Now, it shouldn't be now.
That's technically muted. Let's see.
Oh, I think we're good now. I don't know what the hell's going on. Oh, is another update on OBS? That's what happened.
Always.
Always. All right. Well, dang it. That stinks, man. That stinks. Well, what are we gonna do? We'll just carry on, I guess. It's unfortunate. Oh man. I always check it right before we go live and it works. And then when we start the live button, it just I don't know. It's weird. Whatever. Uh yeah. Great race. What were you saying? I might have cut you off. Were you in the middle of something or I was like distracted there for a second? Maybe not. Maybe I'm just all right. Well, we'll go into the World Endurance Championship then next. The 6 hours of Fuji this weekend. The number two caddy on Hypercar pole. Great job by them. 55 Ferrari on LMGT3 pole. Let's talk about that lap two crash with Robert Kubica absolutely sending it in to turn one on lap number two. And he ends up collecting like I believe the number five Porsche. He runs into them. That collects the 50 Ferrari. Ends up collecting, I believe the Peugeot took off the wing off of was it the wing? Not off the Peugeot. What was the Alpine? I believe got the wing. I mean, it was just crazy. He went in there locked up and got way past his break-in zone. Tried to make an inside move on the five Porsche. Wasn't able to make it. The five Porsche was trying to make an inside move on one of the two Ferraris. I mean, it was an absolute mayhem there in a turn one on lap two. They end up giving that big penalty to the 83A of Corsa team coming off their win at Coda. It's just we were giving them so much praise and like giving them their due, off of the Coda win. They end up having this issue with Robert Kubica this weekend. Uh, Unbelievable, unbelievable. Gives them a big penalty. Ends up really setting back the number five Porsche. One of the Alpines was having a good run at the time. They end up having issues. I mean, it was just a crazy incident there on lap two. That really kind of changed the complexion of the race. For a lot of the point standings and everything going on with that. I do want to talk about Valentino Rossi though. This guy I am going to totally 100% nominate as a driver of the week. His stint was absolutely insane. He was like P10, I believe, when he got in the car, and he drove all the way up to P3 during his stint in the GT3 field. He was throwing slide jobs, three wide crossover moves, like diving it to the inside and narrow pass. Like he looked like the second coming of Art and Senna, bro, like this weekend, man. It was insane what Valentino Rossi did. I mean, I think it was probably the best drive I've seen from anybody in the World Endurance Championship to this date. I mean, other than maybe Robert Kubica's opening stint at Le Mans. Other than that, I think this stint was freaking insane by Valentino Rossi. Um, wow. I'm still in shock, man. That was insane. I was like rewatching parts of that stint, and I was like, how did he do what he was passing some of the fastest cars, the sister BMW, the Manti Porsches. I mean, he was doing insane going through three wide situations, throwing crossovers, sliders. It was insane. It was, I mean, I can't believe what he did behind the wheel of that race car. What a Chad drive. We're gonna look back at this drive and be like, dang, this was the moment. Or Valentino Rossi definitely solidified himself as a true uh drive, like a GT3 driver. I mean, I feel like it's true now, man. It was awesome. Uh Also, I want to talk about the incident with Kobayashi and the number 5 Porsche with Campbell. They ended up making some pretty significant contact. It looked like the 7 Porsche got into the back of the number 5 Porsche, turned it around, and when he spun, ends up collecting the 7. Huge points implications for the 7 with Kobayashi and DeVries. Now they're pretty much mathematically out of winning the Drivers' Championship with the World Endurance Championship this year, which is unfortunate. But with the pace of the number 6 Porsche this weekend, I mean, it was one of those moments where you felt like the desperation was there. The championship was slipping away, had to make a move for the points, made a big mistake. That was unfortunate. Uh, Good thing there's a lot of other boneheads this week, or I would nominate him for that one. But when the championship's on the line, you're gonna do what you got to do to get it done. Um, and then the number 2 Cadillac started on pole. Earl Bamber made a mistake trying to get by the Alpine. I believe it was Mick Schumacher was in the Alpine at the time. Got to the outside, missed his line by a little bit, overcorrected, and went straight into the wall. Ended their great day that they had going, especially with their front or their pole qualifying. Um, and that was it. That was all she wrote. The number 6 Porsche, the points leader, Latour, Van Thorn, Estrie ended up winning Hypercar. And then Ferrari with Floor, Castellacci, and Rigone end up winning an LMGT3. It was a Ferrari dominated GT3 field with Valentino Rossi pulling up that P3 there in the BMW. And then in Hypercar, the number 6 Porsche ends up outlasting the Ferrari and the Toyota to end up winning in Hypercar. What a great race. Fuji's a great track, man. I enjoy Fuji.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, there was a lot of interesting things that happened in that race. 6-hour races are always some of the best ones, and we got one this weekend with the Battle at the Bricks, and I'm super excited for that as well. Um, let's see. I'll just go over the points for the World Endurance Championship, as a refresher. The number 6 Porsche got 150 points. They're up on the number 50 Ferrari by 35 and 37 over the number 7 Toyota. So it's pretty much a wrap for the championship there. And the drivers for the number 6 Porsche, what a great year they put together. Really, the only downside is that flop at Le Mans. They just couldn't get the win there. But other than that, they've been pretty much the best car everywhere else. So congratulations to them on another win and getting themselves ready for the championship. So great season so far in the World Dirt Championship. One more round to go. I believe it's the 8 hours of Bahrain. So we'll wrap the season up here in another month for the World Endurance Championship and crown another set of champions. In the NXT, let's talk about that. The season finale, the championship secured. Louis Foster on pole. Louis Foster dominated. There's really nothing to talk about there with the win with Louis Foster. I do want to talk about this insane save that Miles Rowe had. I believe he was up on the outside
Yeah.
of Callum Hedge, and Rowe was just got a little bit of a tap from Hedge. Maybe came down on Hedge a little bit. Went sideways, washed up almost to the wall, and saved it and kept it going. Only lost a couple positions. I mean, what an absolute Chad move that was. Um, Unfortunate way to end a season for Jamie Chadwick, her and Miller. She was going through lap traffic, gets into Miller. Well, really kind of was going to the inside of Miller. Looked a lot like the Rose Hedge incident. Unfortunately, she had her right front tire or right front suspension broke and went sliding through the grass. Fortunate end for Jamie Chadwick, especially when she was battling in that 2 through 5 spot most of that race. Super unfortunate. But I do want to talk about Juven Sundermorthy for a minute. This guy started basically dead last, drove through the field, and then ran Foster down by the end of the race and only lost by like 0.3 of a second. What a drive!
Yeah.
What? I did not expect that from Juven, dude. Like, he's had a terrible year.
He had a pretty good car. It looked like he could
Oh, it
really
was
put it in.
insane.
And honestly, with how rough Nashville was being, I mean, how many broken suspensions did we see during the practices in IndyCar? I think it was
Yeah.
like 4 cars. Kirkwood, Erickson,
Yep.
Newgarden, and there was another one. I swear there was another one.
Wasn't
Was
Herta.
it Grosjean?
Yeah,
I
it might
can't
have been.
remember.
It might have been Grosjean.
But even with how rough that track was and the speed that he had, it was just incredible. Actually, that was. I might be pulling for him next year.
Dude, same, dude. That was a Chad drive. It reminded me of that drive that De Alba had at Iowa, where De Alba started
Oh
kind of in the back
yeah.
and drove through the field. That was never got close enough to make a battle for the lead, but like that was a great drive. I mean, he drove by some of the faster guys in the series to get that to that point. That was a great drive by him. And really only had that one caution to help him gain to re-level the field. So I mean, he did a great job. I was pretty impressed by Juven this weekend, and that's why I nominated him as a driver of the week. We'll get to that in a minute, but yeah, what a great drive by Juven Southern Worthy. All right, IndyCar race. Oh boy, what happened to Will Power, dude? With the seatbelts?
Was it
The
the
moment's too
seatbelts?
big.
Actually, I don't know because look, I was driving. I had Sirius XM playing the NASCAR race, and then on my phone, I had
Yeah.
it mounted with the IndyCar race on, but I didn't have any sound for the IndyCar race. All I saw was them switching out the steering wheel, and I was like, "Freaking karma, man!"
Yeah.
Penske's been giving all the crap to Ganassi, and they finally get hit with a hybrid issue. That's just I never actually dug into it, but was it seatbelts?
Yeah, it was seatbelts. They couldn't get the seatbelts
Wow.
tight. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he started. It was like what lap 12, 13, something like
Yeah, it
that
was
when he
really
pulled
early.
off. It was real early in the race. He had actually gotten down to like 6 point gap to Pillow at the moment of him coming into pit lane. It was looking like he was gonna put the fight to Pillow, and then yeah, they comes in and you hear him on the radio across the front stretch, my belts, and yeah, I don't know, they just couldn't get it tight. It took him 4 laps to finally get him tight to get him back up on the track, and it was over at that point. Pillow had secured the championship. There's nothing he could do. Uh, to really get those laps back to fight back in the championship, which was unfortunate. But the moment might have got too big there for that 12 team. They really should have won.
Pressure got to him.
Oh, 100%. I mean, if you look at it this throughout the season, the 12 and the 3 were the two fastest cars all season long. And the 26, I would say, right there with Pillow as well. But the two Penskes, they didn't get the championship done. They had too many mistakes, whether the 3 or the 12 ran into each other, making mistakes on restarts where you wall yourself, running over people with what he did there at Iowa, the belt issue this weekend, McLaughlin making that mistake at Detroit, running into the wall from the lead. I mean, just all these little things that compiled to really set them back this year. Losing control of the Indy 500, a race that they probably should have won. Willpower and McLaughlin had two of the fastest cars, and they still got out
Yeah.
masterclass by Newgarden. It's just little things like that, cost them the championship this year, and it kind of that was like the basically the cherry on top of the cake, man. Like that was the
Look,
most fitting way for the championship to end.
if Will Power would have won the Indy 500 and actually stuck in the race and like was in the master class mindset that Newgarden was in, he would have won the championship.
Yeah,
There's no way that. Well, I don't know. If
well, it's that, and
well,
then
here it's that and the
Milwaukee.
seatbelt.
Yeah,
Look, if they won the Indy 500 and their team knew how to tighten down some freaking seatbelts, they would have won the championship.
yeah. Well, and
Or
also I would say
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, or even when Newgarden screwed him over at the first race in Milwaukee when he got into the wall. I mean, there was just so many weird, or no, it
Or
was
St.
Gateway.
Pete.
It was Gateway where yeah, it's just so many
You
weird
go all the way
things.
back to the first race.
Yeah, it's just a weird season for that 12 team, man. I mean,
But honestly, it's like let's look at it from an outside perspective. It's good that Penske didn't win the championship
yes,
because of what happened at the beginning of the year.
I agree. I agree. I agree. Yeah, 100%. And I think Pelot deserved the championship. He only had one bad race. Well, I guess two. He had the power issue at Milwaukee, and then he had the wreck at Iowa. That was it. Other than that, he was flawless.
Yeah.
That's how you win championships. You just
Yeah.
got to make less mistakes than the other guys, and it's what he
Yeah,
did.
but Iowa, he was put in that position. It wasn't like because
He lost control, I believe, if I remember right, or his wheel
no,
came off, or
it was
something like
Iowa
that.
1, but he
Yeah.
was supposed to start P7 or P6 or something, and had to change something on the hybrid system, or and then he got that 10 place penalty at the start of the race or something.
Yeah, that's right. Because the engine swap or whatever from the.
And then he
Yeah.
drove like a madman and he paid the consequence. I'm not saying that's not his fault, but it's not his fault he got to start P17.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, what a great year by Blow. That's all I'm gonna say. He
Again,
definitely.
another one.
Yeah, just a masterclass of how to win a championship. I mean, he reminds me a lot of Jimmy Johnson, man. Like
Yeah.
start the race, like especially on the ovals, you don't really see him at all, and then by the end of the race, you look up and he's like P4. You're
He's
like,
there.
how did that
What?
happen? He was a non-factor all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah. What other stuff do you want to talk about? Rosenquist having a tire go down. That was unfortunate for him. I think he was running P3 at the time. That's what ruined the race for Kirkwood because Kirkwood was your leader from the pole. And then when that caution came out, he had already pitted. That put him back a lap, and then he got his lap back. They put the wave around or whatever. That took him pretty much out of contention to win the race. That was super unfortunate for him. Uh, and then Erickson, he had a crash as well. But when it came down to the end of it, was Herta was on the preferred strategy, running down Pato Ward, and was able to get by him there right at the end of the race. And crazy, it was his first ever oval win,
Yeah.
and he secured second in the points. I mean, unbelievable, all in one go.
Yeah. That
That's
was
pretty
actually a
crazy.
great run by Herta. Um, and I just want to say that battle he had with Pato O'Ward and Pillow at the end there, with
Oh
Pillow
yeah.
just blocking for his life there at the end. You saw
Oh man.
Pillow blocking his life away, and Pato and Herta with the new tires and just hauling the mail up to Pillow. That was cool. I liked watching that.
That was entertaining. I also like the battle with Herta and Malukas there to be the leader of that
Yeah, yeah,
strategy
yeah.
off that restart. Malukas got him. I mean, Malukas had it cleared, but then Herta, I can't remember if it was Dixon at the time was the lap car, and Malukas just was like, I got to get by him now. He shot to the outside, got by him, and then Herta got stuck kind of behind him there through like I believe it was like 3 and 4, and then he was like, I gotta go if I'm gonna stay in contention here. I gotta keep up with Malukas. And then he did. He got by Dixon, and then they put on a battle for a few laps, which was pretty entertaining. I really thought Malukas was going to win the race at that point. When he had cleared Dixon there, I was like, it's over. I was like, Malukas is going to win this race. It just didn't happen. I think Herta definitely deserved to get a win on an oval this year with how competitive he's been. I mean, with all we talk about all the little bad luck things we've seen this year. I mean, Herta's had a lot of bad luck on ovals, like leading races, bad timed caution during a pit sequence, or leading a race and then takes an alternate strategy and it just didn't work out for him. Like just weird stuff's happened to him on ovals this year, and he's been one of the fastest. So good to see him finally get one. What a great IndyCar season, man! What an awesome
Yeah.
season. What? Nobody won more than 3 races. We had Dixon win 2, Herta won 2, Pato won 3, McLaughlin won 3, Power won 3, Pillow won 2, Newgarden won 1,
Well, yeah, one. We'll
1.
we'll say
Yeah,
one.
yeah. But yeah, crazy, dude. Crazy year. And
Yeah.
no surprise winners. We had surprise polls. We had Ferrucci on a pole, Cooter with a podium. Who would have thought that?
Homie didn't have a ride at the beginning of the year, and he
Yeah,
secured the $1 million for Junkos.
yeah. What a great so did Rasmussen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rasmussen had himself $1 million ride on Sunday as well. So yeah, what a crazy year. A lot of great stuff. I'm excited to see what happens next year with all the silly season stuff to be sorted. But another awesome IndyCar season in the books, and it's sad. We got to wait until next year, and then we'll go and find out who's going to be in the booth at Fox, and we'll hope it doesn't ruin the product on track. We already lost Lee Diffie. Now we're losing Peacock and NBC, so it's going to be a interesting year next year.
R.I.P.
All right. Oh man. Is there anything else you want to talk about with IndyCar or anything else I've said? I mean,
Now, it just I'm gonna miss it.
yeah, facts. It's gonna be a long time before it's back. Another 6 months, basically. Insane. IndyCar season's too short. It needs to be longer. Alrighty. Then Sunday, the Cup Series race after the IndyCar race, or I guess at the same time. This was kind of tough. I had to watch one, and then I watched the end of the other one, so I missed the beginning of the Cup race. But Chastain on pole. Lap one, more playoff drama. KFB, Hamlin, Blaney, Bell, all involved. Man, is Denny Hamlin gonna make the next round of the playoffs?
I don't
Boy,
think so.
golly God, dude. I don't think so either, man. I think he's done. He
He
does this every year to himself, man. He gets
yeah.
too much in his head, man.
He he needs to do something spectacular at Bristol, like win the race. But
I
you
think that's
know,
all he can do. I mean, honestly,
really, yeah, he's got to hope for some bad luck and a good finishing position, or win the race. That's it.
I think he's gonna wreck. I really do.
Uh, Probably. Look at his performance so far. It's been actually terrible.
I mean, if you were in the playoffs, let's just put yourself in these shoes. You're in the playoffs, and you know Denny Hamlin's on the verge of elimination. You know he's one of the favorites to win the championship this year. Had a terrible first round. Uh, you've probably been ran into the wall by him before. Why not just walk him up the wall off of turn two one of those laps and just get rid of him out of the
Come
playoffs?
on, Chastain.
Yeah.
Come on, Chastain.
I'm just saying, man. Like, this is your opportunity to knock out one of the favorites. You might as well just like. I got tight on the inside. What do I gotta do? Oh man, I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking too much, but yeah. Blaney out of the race. Good thing he had a good point stay at Atlanta. I think he'll be fine at Bristol. I think he's gonna
so
do
too.
good this weekend. So that was unfortunate. Bell had his issues as well. Truex looked like the guy to beat there in stage one. I mean, he ends up winning stage one. Uh, Great stage points for him. Fell apart at the end. We'll talk about it, but um, yeah, I mean that's what he needed to do was get good stage points. And then that caution at stage two on lap 39 with Suarez really kind of changed the race for Chastain and SVG. Kind of lost their track position there. That was super unfortunate. Chastain still did end up winning stage two because of the way the caution flew, but uh, did end up getting the stage, but set him back in strategy and everything. There was a lot of weird strategies going on. A lot of guys that were racing for stage points early lost them at the end. Unfortunate. Let's talk about that wreck with Hamlin and Keselowski. What was it? Hamlin, Keselowski, and I'm trying to remember who was the third car in that mix. Was it Gibbs? Where they end up turning Hamlin. Like Hamlin was up on the outside, Keselowski was in the middle. I can't remember who was on the inside of Keselowski, but they came together there going up the hill to the S's. Hamlin
Yeah.
goes into the wall. Goodness gracious, man. Hamlin has had a terrible round, man.
What is he doing?
He's this clown.
Like, you've got spotters all over the track. You're probably the most veteran driver there. He is. He is the most veteran driver.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he does that? That's insane. I was appalled by that. Seriously, I don't even know what to say. That was like some Corey LaJoy shit we saw. I mean, that was just terrible. I
That
mean,
was the crazy.
put that on your resume and you'll be searching for a job forever. I mean,
I
that's
think it's just time he hangs it up, man. Like honestly, like if he can't win it this year with how dominant he's been this year, I mean, he's never gonna win one, man. This is crazy. But yeah, because I was getting a terrible day too, because that was his first incident, and then,
yeah.
oh man, Byron, dude, holy cow, that wreck was crazy, dude. He almost climbed the freaking guardrail, and then he lands in Keselowski's window.
Yeah, that was actually kind of scary.
That was.
I was like, well, I mean, what do you expect out of the next gen car?
No
I
doubt.
mean, that was just it was just weird. It was a weird wreck overall.
Yeah, that window net, man. I was surprised it actually stayed intact there.
Yeah, it was
Like, that's
strange.
crazy.
It was just
Yeah,
a strange wreck.
really strange. Yeah, but yeah, that a lot of points being bled there by them as well. I know what Reddick spun around at one point. He was way in the back. I mean, there was so many playoff drivers having so many issues this race. It was crazy, but it did set us up for one of those crazy finishes at the end of this race with SVG, Chris Buescher. Oh man, I'm bummed, dude. I'm still bummed. I do like Buescher. I think he's a nice guy and everything. It's cool that he won, but like, dang it, man.
Yeah. Look, I was just thinking about this the other day, or actually just right after the race. You know, I think it was the podcast right after Atlanta. We talked about SVG making a mistake. That was
Yes.
entirely his fault. You know, and then he comes to Watkins Glen and he does it again. That was entirely his fault. He hit the wall going into the bus stop, and then he got his car all upset, and then Chris Buescher was there, and it was over.
Yeah.
And and so it's like, what's going on? I mean, this is literally an Iron Man who hasn't made a mistake, and proves it from week to week with consistent good finishes, winning almost every single road course in the Xfinity series, except Zilich decided to show up, and then even in the Cup Series he was slotted to win the Chicago race, and
Yeah.
then and then
Yeah. Can't go
not
Briscoe.
his fault,
Yeah.
not his fault, but but this was entirely his fault, 100%. To me, it's just kind of like, hey, what's going on? Maybe, maybe he got a call before the race and his dog died back in Australia or something. I don't know, but it's just weird.
Well, my take to that is familiarity can lead to a lot of mistakes too, because I mean, yeah, he was getting like top 10s, top 15 finishes with learning the car, maybe not pushing it as hard, getting good results. But now maybe he's getting more comfortable figuring this stuff out more, having more comfort in it, maybe pushing a little harder, maybe making more mistakes. I don't know. Maybe that could be a
Yeah,
key to it too. I don't know. But yeah, that was very uncharacteristic for SVG. I did not expect that. When he had cleared Busher and opened up about tattoo car lane gap to the S, I was like, it's
yeah,
over.
it's over.
SVG. Yeah. And
That's what
then,
I thought.
oh, man. Oh, that's so
That's
unfortunate.
that's what I
That
thought.
was rough, man. I really thought he was going to win that race. That would have been so awesome. But
Yeah,
um, he's gonna be a threat next year in lots of races. So I'm not. I mean, it's just another race he should have could have won. But oh man, I think Lee Diffie kind of jinxed it though. When they're
yeah,
going
he
down the
did.
back straightaway, Diffie's like, it was
Yeah.
another Aussie or another guy from Australia, Marcos
Shades of
Ambrose.
Marcus
Yeah.
Ambrose.
Right when he said that, I'm like, oh man, he probably should have said that. Because I remember Ambrose losing a race to Allmendinger, kind of in the same way that
Yeah,
SVG did to Busher. So it's like, dang, man, yeah.
yeah.
So that was unfortunate, but yeah, that sucks. We'll take a look at the point. Unless there's anything else you want to add to this race. I mean,
Did you
uh,
see the interview by Truex after the race?
where he said he was done, like
Yeah,
goodbye. Yeah.
he just sounds like he's given up.
Oh, he
Honestly,
has, dude. You could tell over the last like 6 races of the regular season. Even you could tell he's. I think what really ended it for him was that race at Richmond. We haven't seen the same Truex since that
oh
Richmond
yeah,
race.
yeah.
When he got ran into the wall by his own teammate who jumped the restart.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then showed his frustration to Larson. I think that was the end of it. I think that's when he finally decided I'm done because it wasn't long after that we got the retirement announcement, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't long.
Yeah, so that's so unfortunate. I don't think he's going to advance, and we'll look at the points here in a second. But he's below even more than 12 points back now, so I think it's over unless he wins Bristol, which he was P2 there in the spring. So, point standings for the Cup: Briscoe and Gibbs are both up 6 points to the cut line. Hamlin's -6, Keselowski's -12. Then I believe Truex is like -20 something, and then Burton's another -20 something. So I think Burton's done. I think
Yeah.
Keselowski, unless he, well, I don't know. I can't really count out Keselowski out of Bristol. I can't count out a Hamlin either. Um, you really can't even count out Truex with his track record. I mean, you got to give him at least some credit. So it'll be interesting. It's gonna be a crazy, crazy race, and we're gonna do it all right here on YouTube with you guys for the watch party. So I hope you guys tune in this Saturday for the watch party for the battle at the Bass Pro Shops night race at Bristol. Super excited for that.
Yeah.
Drivers of the week: Valentino Rossi, P3 in the World Endurance Championship. That stint was just one of the best stints I've seen all year long. Juven Sunderworthy driving basically from that tail end of the field to P2. And then Carson Osvar, career best Cup Series finish with a P3. Got to give him a shout out. I thought he might actually legitimately have a chance to win that race there at the end with those overtime restarts. That was unfortunate. Maybe lack of experience probably there with
Or lack of
Busher
car.
and
I mean,
car too. Yeah, that's true. Well, he gets so much out of that car, man. He's
he
just wheeling
does.
that thing for all
He's
it's
just a
worth.
freaking driver, man.
I mean, even Zane Smith has kind of turned it around. I mean, honestly, like Zane Smith, I think finished P5.
Well,
I mean,
he needs to find a ride next year to continue that.
yeah, I think Zane Smith has got a lot of talent. I just think that it took him a little bit longer than Hocevar to find pace, and I think that's what led to his early fire. um, and then Boneheads of the Week, I'm going to nominate Robert Kubica for that bulldozer mode into turn 1 on lap 2 and took out basically half the hypercar field. Also, I'm going to nominate Earl Bamber for running out of talent there. Could have had a solid top 5 finish with that Cadillac, and something they needed, couldn't get it done. And then Sergio Perez threw it away. Just threw it away. Just crinkled it up and threw it in the waste bin.
It's so painful, man.
Oh, it's miserable. I'll put those polls up for you guys after the podcast to vote on. I'm kind of curious to see which ones out of those all win, because those are some pretty good nominees this week. All right, it's time to preview the races this weekend. We've got the ARCA Trucks Xfinity and Cup 4-pack weekend at Bristol, man. This is going to be nuts. All starting on Thursday. We got a doubleheader with ARCA and Truck on Thursday. That's going to be a fun Thursday night. I can't wait for that, dude. I'm all jittery, dude. The ARCA series at Bristol is like the Super Bowl of the ARCA series. I'm so excited for it. And this entry list is fire. So can't wait to talk about that here in a second. Then we also have F1 at Singapore for the Singapore Grand Prix. Remember, this was the one race last year Red Bull did not win. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting. And then also IMSA and the Pilot Challenge Series at Indianapolis. This year, the IMSA or the Pilot Challenge Series is only running a 2-hour race instead of the 4. And then the WeatherTech Series running 6 instead of 8. So a little bit shorter weekend here, which kind of stinks, but it's still going to be some good racing. All right. Notable entry for the ARCA series. Oh, man. Let's get into this. We got Jake Finch in the number 1 Venerini machine. We got Ruggiero in the number 20 Venerini machine. Tyler Reif, the guy that won that ARCA race last year at Phoenix. He's in the field in number 23 for FAR. Zilich and Corey Day in the 82 and 28 Webb machines, respectively, this weekend. I'm excited for Corey Day.
Yes.
Oh, man. Well, when I was in Douglas County, man, he started, 15th in the 35-lap feature, and he ripped the lip and got all the way up to, like, P3 at one point in that race, dude. What an absolute drive. I'm excited to see what Corey Day can do in similar equipment to a Connor Zilich, and I think Corey Day is along that same line of talent. I think he just needs that opportunity, so I'm excited to see what he can do this weekend. I just thought I'd mention it because we might have an instant caution here. We got Lawless Allen and the 33 Rayon brothers. I like saying his name because that's the guy that Haley Deegan's fans hate the most. And then Dean Thompson in the number 55 Venerini machine. So stacked field. We also got Andy Jesus in the field. Typical Greg Van Alst in the field. So I mean, there's some heavy hitters. It's gonna be a great race. Swalich is in the field as well. Perez, your points leaders in the field. LeVar Scott running good in the points as well. He's in the field. So yeah, I'm excited to see what the ARCA series does this weekend. And then the truck series, we got William Swalich running back to back. He's running the double on Thursday with Tricon in number 1. Marco is running also in the double. He's going to be running ARCA and then hopping in a truck for Roper in the 04. Zilich, same thing. He's going to be running the double. He'll be in the number 7 Spire truck. Connor Bosak will be in the number 41 Nice machine, which I'm excited to see what he could do. He won an ARCA race earlier this year. I'm excited to see if he can maybe do something in a truck this time at Nice. And then Xfinity, we got Joe Graff Jr. in the number 19 for JGR. Ryan Truex in the 20 for JGR. I thought it was kind of funny. We got 2 Earnhardts in the field. Jeffrey in the 26 for Sam Hunt. And then Dale Jr., Dale Jesus, and the number 88 for himself this weekend. And then in the Cup Series, we got Kaz Gralla in the 15 for Rick Ware Racing. AJ Allmendinger will be running the 16 for Colleague. And then Josh Bilicki in the number 66 MBM machine. Bilicki's also running a double. He's running Xfinity and Cup this weekend. He'll be in the DGM machine in the 92 or 91. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe 91. And then in IMSA, we got some teams running 3 drivers this weekend in the hypercar class. One of those will be Tom Blomqvist, number 31 for Action Express. Super excited to see what they could do. Roman Grosjean, number 63 Lamborghini this weekend. I'm excited to see what Lambo can do. My bold prediction in the offseason, Lambo was going to win one of these IMSA races this year. We've only got 2 more opportunities, so this is one of them. And then Connor Zilich in the number 18 Era LMP2. So he's running triple threat this weekend. ARCA truck on Thursday in Bristol. And then Sunday, head to Indianapolis to go run in an LMP2 car to go try to get another endurance race win. He won what? Daytona, Sebring, and did they win at Watkins Glen? I'm trying to remember if they did or not.
I don't think so.
I can't remember. Maybe they finished second in Watkins Glen. I'm not sure. But yeah, he'll be in the going for another endurance victory in LMP2 this year. All right, Tom. Predictions. The ARCA series, the Bush Beans 200 on Thursday evening. Oh man, this is an easy pick for me. This man is one loss in his 6-7 starts this year in ARCA. He's just an absolute Chad. He's gonna win this race this weekend at Bristol. He's gonna win the ARCA race, and it's gonna be an absolute dominant performance. And then my dark horse, oh man, I'm gonna go with Andy Jesus, like I always do, like clockwork. I'd like to see Andy Jesus get a solid top 5 finish in this race. This is a stacked field, man. If he gets a top 5, this will be probably one of the best results he's ever had. This will be awesome to see. So I'm excited. The Super Bowl of the ARCA Series, Bristol every year, stacked entry list. I think there's like 28 cars, 29 cars on the entry list. It's gonna be freaking nuts, bro. It's gonna be a wreck fest.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it. But I'm not going to share the love here. I'm also going Zilich. I mean, if you don't go Zilich, you're a family member of the driver or something. So, um, I mean, that's just an obvious. Like everything Jay said, it's going to be dominant performance. If it's not, something seriously went wrong. So, uh, for my dark horse though, I'm going with Corey Day, man. Look, even Larson came out and said that Corey Day is better than him. Um, and that's not saying a lot anymore nowadays, but regardless, look, his Chili Bowl performance was absolutely insane.
Mint.
Um, just his sprint car performances, any dirt track across the nation, he's one to look out for. I'm really excited to see him in an ARCA car and see what he could do around the last great Coliseum. So I'm going with Day.
Hell yeah. I don't want to jinx him. That's why I didn't take him. I've been jinxing drivers a lot this year. So, yeah, I'm super excited to see what Corey Day can do this week. I'm definitely going to have my eyes on him for sure. And then when it comes to the truck race, right after the ARCA race, got a doubleheader there on Thursday night. Going to be a great night of racing. The UNOH 200 for the truck series. I believe, is this the cut race for the playoffs? I can't remember now. We did
I
Milwaukee
think
was
it
the
is for
opening
the
round.
trucks
And
or
then
Xfinity. Sorry.
yeah. This is the cut race. Yeah, for the round of 8 to the round of 6. So
Cut race. Yes.
yeah,
Sorry.
cut race
Yeah.
for the trucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this man is gonna go back to back in the same day. I think Connor Zilich. He's in a great truck in the 7 Spire. We've seen what those guys could do with the Sanchez winning this year, Rajah winning this year. I don't know about Chase Purdy. I don't know how I feel about that guy, but at least we know 2 of the guys can win in those trucks. I think Zilich is capable, and he's gonna have all those laps under his belt from the ARCA race just before then. He's gonna be just fresh. He's used to running these 24-hour races. He'll be fine. He'll be able to do it. So yeah, I think Zilich is going to go back to back on Thursday. He's going to sweep the day. And it's going to be pretty exciting to watch. And then for my dark horse, this guy has been really close to winning. I just really feel like this track suits his driving style really well. Uh, I think Nice is just destined to win a race this year. I think they're going to get one. And I think this could be one with a little bit of attrition. Maybe with the changing track temperatures as it transitions tonight. Maybe they catch a right caution, a right stage, and they're able to flip strategy. They're not racing for points. Maybe we can see Caden Honeycutt in victory lane this weekend. So I'm going to take him as my dark horse. And I'm going to be pulling for him because I want to see him. I like watching him do good. And I think this is a track that he could definitely shock the world at.
Yeah. Okay. So for my favorite, I'm doing the same thing again. If you're not going for Zilich, you're probably a family member of another driver. So, um, seriously, I mean, like, there's no deny. He just went into the Xfinity series, the second to last level, before going to the top echelon of stock car racing, and just absolutely spanked the field. I mean, he went out there and made every single one of them, his toy. So, I just there's so much to expect out of him. I don't think pressure gets to him like it does other drivers like Hamlin, but I think that Zilich can actually come out here and win this race, and I think he could do it in pretty dominant fashion. Um, I really don't think. I think maybe Christian Eckes could maybe do something, but I really don't think there's anybody else in the trucks that can do that. or take it to him. I just don't think so. But for my dark horse, again, I'm not going to share the love. I'm going Caden Honeycutt. Um, and not only specifically because I agree with Jay, it's more of his driving style, but I'm just a huge fan of Phil Gould, and I think that he is just an absolute animal. And if there's one crew chief who can specifically win a race because of his own calls, whether it be from mechanical performance or strategy, it's going to be Phil Gould. Um, and I think that there's gonna be some of that. We're gonna see that on Thursday night. So um, that's why I'm gonna take Caden Honeycutt.
Heck yeah. Those are some good picks. We're right in line for most of these picks tonight. This is good. Alrighty. And then in the Xfinity series, the Food City 300, this is the final race of the regular season. It's gonna come down to the wire to see if maybe we get a surprise winner to make the playoffs. But I'm gonna go with the guy that won this race last year. I'm gonna go with Justin Allgaier. I think those junior motorsports guys are gonna show up with a lot of speed. We saw it last year out of Dell Jr. We saw it out of Sam Mayer. We saw it out of Justin Allgaier last year. I think they're going to come off with a lot of speed again. I think Allgaier is going to. What was it last year when he won? It was his first win at Bristol, or since like his first career win.
Yeah,
And like, yeah, I think Allgaier is going to go back to back this year at Bristol. I just think he's just unstoppable right now. He's won so many stages, dude. It's been unbelievable.
yeah.
He just hadn't been able to get the job done a lot. I think he does this weekend. And then for my dark horse, this man, if I was to take one track this guy could win at, and he's proved it at pretty much every level he's been competitive here, it's Parker Kligerman, man. It's his farewell tour season, man. He's not returning next year, unfortunately. A sad day in motorsports to not see Parker Kligerman behind the wheel of some type of race car at a full-time capacity, but uh I just think he's due, man. And I want to see him win one race before the end of his full-time career here. He's in playoff contention. He's going to go race for a championship. What would be a better way to kick off the end of a regular season going into the playoffs with a win at Bristol? I think Kligerman could totally get the job done. I've seen him take those dog watered freaking Henderson trucks around Bristol with top podium finishes, man. I swear, if he can get anything out of this, Kligerman's a man to watch this weekend for sure.
Absolutely. Um, Look, I don't really know. I just have a very weird feeling about this. 2 years ago, we saw probably one of the greatest finishes in Xfinity history. Um, with Allgaier,
That was
Dinger, and
yeah,
Cindric
Cindric, yeah.
coming across the line. Um, Man, and Riley Herbst was in that as well. But I just have this feeling that Dinger is going to make a comeback. He's going to win this weekend. Um, I know he's just had a terrible year, but I have this feeling AJ Allmendinger is going to show up in a fast car. He's going to qualify real good. He's going to run up front. I think that 16 is going to be one to look out for this weekend. I just have that feeling, you know. I just I got no other supporting evidence other than I got a feeling. I got a
Good
feeling.
faith.
Yes. Yeah. For my dark horse, everything Jay said. Not sharing the love here. I am going with Kligerman as well. It is his farewell tour. Um, let's get that win, man. Let's lock it in the playoffs. Let's get some playoff points. Kligerman can absolutely do it though. You know, he was toting around, a car that was built by Norm Benning with 600 pounds of lead in the bed, and he was still finishing top tens, top fives in the truck series. I mean, look, talk about an absolute driver. Some of the names that just stand out. I mean, Ross Chastain, that never give up attitude. Uh, you know, uh,
Ryan Sieg.
yeah, thank you, Sieg. I was trying to say Sieg. There's a very small group of drivers who I really feel like um, are some of the most elite drivers in a way where they're always giving 110%. I think Kligerman is in that group. I think Kligerman just didn't really have opportunities like say Allgaier did, or like Matt Crafton in the Truck Series, or Denny Hamlin in the Cup Series. You know what I mean? Like Kligerman can absolutely be a Hall of Fame driver. I mean, he could be anyways, but he would have been no doubt, no questions asked if he would have gotten something better than the 48 car. Um, I, yeah, I just think it's such a freaking crime. It's like Brett Moffitt, man.
Oh yeah.
It's just whatever. He's making the best of his situation, and absolute Chad.
Heck yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited. This is gonna be a good race weekend at Bristol. Let's transition over to Saturday. Also, we have the Indianapolis 120 for the Michelin Pilot Challenge. I'm just gonna stick with the picks I normally make here this week, and I think the Windward Mercedes and the 57 they're gonna win with Ellis and Bryce Ward. I think they're gonna get the job done. And then I'm gonna take the number 13 McCumbee machine for the meme in Grand Sport. The TCR, I'm not taking anybody but my boy Robert Wickens and the number 33 Hyundai. That's just gonna guaranteed. And there's really no dark horse to take, but you know what? We'll go with the 72 Audi. I haven't seen them do good at all this year. Honestly, can't even remember a race that they were even on the scoreboard at one point. So we'll take them this weekend as my dark horse.
The only pick I have to make is the 33 Hyundai with Robert Wickens, um, just because history. That's why I
Hell
really
yeah.
like the dude.
This would be awesome if they won. Him and Godsacker, man. They're gonna get it done this weekend. I would almost put money on it, dude. If I could bet on it, I would. Alrighty. And then Saturday night, the culmination of the Bass Pro Shops night race at Bristol, the final race of the first round of the playoffs for the Cup Series. Oh man, do we see Hamlin get eliminated? Is Truex's legacy career done this weekend? Is who else gets eliminated? Keselowski, does he redeem? Does we see somebody else have issues that's already maybe we think is good get eliminated? It's going to be an interesting race. We'll be right here live on YouTube, start to finish for the watch party on Saturday night. So make sure you guys come on by and hang out with us and interact with us in the chat. Should be a good fun time. Can't wait for that this Saturday night to live all that drama and action with you guys live here on YouTube. But with that being said, I've bounced around so many times with the winner of this race. Uh, so when I was in ultimate doubt, I was like, you know what? Who's going to win this race? I'm going to go with the guy I picked to win the championship. That's Christopher Bell. Christopher Bell's going to win this race this weekend at Bristol. And I'm really not confident about that. But when I've just got so many names like Keselowski could win, you can't count him out. You can't count out Truex. Count out Hamlin. I mean, there's all these guys you just can't count out that could definitely win this race. Uh, when you're not in doubt, you just got to stick with your championship pick. That's what I'm going to do with Christopher Bell. And then my dark horse, I'm going to stick with it again. Gillen. It was one of my bold predictions in the offseason. He was going to win a race before the end of the year. Uh, could this weekend be the weekend? I don't know, but I'm going to take it anyway.
Yeah, that's some great choices actually, and I'm kind of on the same page when choosing my favorite on. I don't know. There's just Bristol's kind of a wild card. I mean, if they bring back the tire that we had in the spring, uh, holy cow, we could have some fun with that. But I don't know what they're bringing. So,
Who knows?
uh, with that being said, um, I don't know. I think that Ryan Blaney could have something to say in Bristol. Kind of an underdog of the favorites, I would say. Um, but he has a pretty good short track program. Um, I mean, he was kind of dog water at Richmond, but he should have won Gateway. Um, there was even more races this year where he was running top 10, top 5 all day. So look, it could happen. Um, but I'm kind of just I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what to expect, to be honest with you. Um, I think it's just going to be a wild race. I really do. But with that being said, I'm going to take Blaney as my favorite. As my dark horse, I think this is well deserved. We're going with Host and Karsavar. And I just think that, again, I think he's part of that pool of elite drivers, of actual race car drivers. Never give up. always pushing the hardest that he can go, pushing that car beyond its limits. Um, who's to say that he can't even win there at Bristol? I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. I mean, would you expect a P3 run at Watkins Glen? Or, let's be honest, a top 10 anywhere?
Yeah, true. That's a
He's doing
great
it.
pick. That's a great pick. Wasn't it last year he jumped in that Legacy Motor Club number 42 and he was in the top 10 all day
Hell
long?
yeah, he
Yeah.
was.
I forgot about that until you mentioned it. So dang, dude, yeah, this is definitely a track I could see him doing good at. Well, it depends on the tire they bring. How much did he learn after the last one? How much? I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out on Saturday what kind of
Yeah, we'll
tire they
find out.
brought. Live here on YouTube. Alrighty. And then Sunday, the F1 Singapore Grand Prix. I'm going with Leclerc, and I'm not even gonna waver on this. I said he was gonna win 2 races this year. He's already done that. Um, this weekend at Baku, know what that showed me? We're back at normal, typical Ferrari. Their freaking development cycle so fast backwards to everybody else. They're finally bringing fast race cars to the track again. I think they're going to be fast as hell this weekend in Singapore, and I think Leclerc is going to take the fight to those McLarens this weekend. I think I have a really good feeling about the Ferraris this weekend. This is a track I circled where I'm like, this is kind of a wild card. Singapore's kind of a wild card, and I think Ferrari's going to do some great things this weekend. I think the two Ferraris could go 1-2 and get right back at the constructors this weekend. I honestly think that can happen. I would not be surprised one bit. So I'm going to go Charles Leclerc. Maybe close a little bit of points up in the world champ. He's not really mathematically out of the world championship either, man. He's only 78 points back. It ain't over until it's over. So I'm gonna take Leclerc. He's got a lot to prove this weekend. And then for my dark horse, I'm gonna go with Alex Albon. And really not even based upon how they did here last year. Last year, those freaking Williams cars were terrible at Singapore. I think both him and uh Sargent wrecked early in that race, but I don't know, man. I just have a good feeling like that. Like I said, I think this could be a wild card weekend. I think anything can happen. I if we could see one of these Williams qualify in Q3. I really do, man. I think it could happen. And if they could do that, I think they could maintain some of that track position. I think we could see Albon in a Williams car getting points this weekend.
Well, I was going to choose the same driver. I chose Leclerc for Baku. Um, to be honest, I'd probably choose him for Singapore as well. But honestly, I feel like you could choose either Ferrari driver and be on the right side of things. Sainz last year drove an incredible race and won Singapore last year. Um,
Mhm.
and so he's got that under his belt. Ferrari is finally turning up. I don't think you could go wrong with either Leclerc or Sainz. So I'll let Jay take Leclerc, and I'll take Sainz. I still think either one is a great choice. Sainz was fast at Baku. I mean, him and Leclerc were, pretty much freaking neck and neck. And Sainz doesn't have a ride next year. You think they'd be giving all the upgrades to Leclerc over Sainz, but again, he was fast. I think they're gonna be serious contenders for Singapore. Watch out for Ferrari. They're gonna be doing some great things. Um, so I'm gonna take Sainz. My dark horse. Who else can pull points out of their ass on a weekly basis? Or on a race to race basis, right? It's freaking Hulkenberg, man. Hulkenberg is going to go out there and do Hulkenberg things and grab those Hulkenberg points. Just watch. He's going to do something that's so incredible. He's going to finish like 6th. I'm going to call it right here. He's going to finish 6th. Um and I'm more inclined to take 7th, but I'm on the side of optimism, so I'm going to 6th. And so I really do. I think that Hulkenberg can take advantage of mistakes of other drivers, and especially with how consistent that Haas team has been, especially in the pits and strategy wise. They've been doing a phenomenal job, even with that terrible car that they have. It's actually not terrible anymore. I mean, they're a serious mid pack team. They are not like the Haas of yesteryear or the year before that. I mean, they've actually done some good stuff to that car. That team has actually turned around quite a lot since Gunther Steiner left. And with the engineer now being the lead guy, the lead principal of the team. I forget his name. Apologies, but regardless, he has done some great things for Haas, and I'm really, really, really excited to see the future of that team moving forward. But I think that Hulkenberg has a great race this weekend, and I think he's going to turn some heads in Singapore.
Hell yeah. I'd love to see it, man. Hulkamania's running wild all year
Yeah.
long. Hell yeah. All right. And then the final race of the weekend, probably the premier race of the weekend, in my opinion, the TireRack.com Battle on the Bricks at Indianapolis. One of the major marquee events in the entire set calendar for IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Challenge. Uh, for my favorite this weekend, I'm going to take the number 31 Action Express. They've been man, I really thought they were gonna go back to back with the title this year, and they really fell apart. Even at the first race of Daytona, where they lost the lead there to the Porsche and kind of gave that race away. Uh, I think this is a race where people Durrani. They've got three drivers. I think Blomqvist is gonna do just fine. Durrani's gonna do great. Aiken's a wild card, loose cannon. We'll figure out how that works out. But I think the Action Express, I think the Cadillacs will be good. I think the battle for the win's going to be between the 01 and the 31. I think all race long. I think they're both going to qualify in the top three. I think they're going to run top three all day. And I think it's going to be a great battle to see who can outlast out of that Cadillac camp. And I think it'll be Action Express personally. And I'm a little bit of a homer there too. And then for my dark horse, I'm going with Lamborghini. I'm doing it. Lamborghini's going to win, or is my dark horse. I said it. Bold prediction, they're going to win an IMSA race this year, man. They got 2 chances left. We got here in Indianapolis. We got Petit 10 this season. Why not this weekend? Old Roman Grosjean. Let's see if he can either put it in the wall or if he can get a good finish. We'll see this week. All right, who do you got?
For my favorite, I'm going with the Homer, the 01 Ganassi with Bourdais. I'm going to stick with it. I don't care what anybody says, okay? I'm sticking to it. My dark horse, I'm sticking to it again as well. I'm going with the number 7 Proton Porsche, just because, meme baby, meme
Hell
away.
yeah. Oh man, they have such a great looking card too. They've
Dude, it's
been
so
doing a
good.
lot better this year,
They
man.
have.
They've been competing, so that's not a bad pick at all. LMP2. Oh man, this man's gonna not only win the doubleheader on Thursday at Bristol, he's gonna walk to he's gonna get to Indianapolis. He's gonna walk the field once again. He's gonna win another endurance event here in the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Challenge. Connor Zilich behind the wheel, that number 18 Era machine. I don't even care who else is behind the wheel of that race car. Zilich is gonna put a stint together that's so freaking dominant that it ain't gonna matter who the hell else is driving that race car. So give me the 18 Era machine in LMP2. And then my dark horse, I'm going to go with the number 99 Rexy machine, AO Racing. I don't know why. They've been so fast, but they just can't finish a race. A lot like I said with Inception, right? Inception started this year off so fast, couldn't finish a race or put a race together. AO's kind of falling into that same little process here in LMP2. I think that this weekend is a good weekend for them to get a podium.
All right, well, for my favorite, I'm not sharing the love. It's Connor Zilich. And again, if you choose anybody else, you're just a family member. So that's just it. It's it. LMP2 with Connor Zilich behind the wheel. I mean, he sets the standard. Try to work around it or try to beat it. You're not going to. So just bend over and take it. For my dark horse, I'm going to choose the number 8 Tower because they just need some help.
Yeah, they do.
That's about it.
Yeah, they
I'm
do.
showing my moral support.
Oh man, I wonder if them and Creech will wreck each other and AO get collected.
Creech isn't showing up. Did you see that?
I did not see that. Oh man,
Creech
that's
isn't showing
unfortunate.
up.
Dang, that's a rip. I wonder if they just can't find any more cars. That Ligier, they had to try to be so different. Oh,
It's because Lance Wilsey's decision to step away. They can't find a driver, a bronze-rated driver.
Well, I think Haley Deegan.
Hey, I'm a bronze-rated driver. I'm just kidding. Don't put me in the car. You can slap a 15 on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Get Haley Deegan's sitting on her go-kart track somewhere. I mean, she's available.
It's like a match made in heaven, right?
Yeah, it's great, dude. Yeah. All right. All right, for GTD Pro, I'm going to go with the number 4 Corvette this weekend. I think that, I don't know, man. I just think Corvette's going to be quick this weekend. I really do. They've turned it around this season with the rough start they had. They've kind of been one of the faster cars on the GTD field as of late. They're just so far back in the points after the terrible start that's kind of put them in a hole. But I wouldn't be surprised if one of those Corvettes wins. And out of the two, I'm going to go with the number 4 just because I don't know. I'll just be a little different. And then my dark horse is number 65 Ford, and it's all because of Joey Hand, and that's because you damn NASCAR fans hate the guy, and you don't even know what he can do behind the wheel of anything. They've turned it around, man. This Ford team has turned it around.
Yeah, they
This is the
have.
weekend, dude. This is my dark horse. I think they could win the damn thing, man.
Yep,
That'd be awesome.
I agree. Okay, so for my favorite, obviously I'm gonna go with the number 14, Vassie Soli. Um, Man, what a kind of disappointing year, but regardless, you look, they could get 2 more good finishes out of the year and end it on a high note. It could happen at Indy. Um, it's kind of a coveted racing place, so I think they'll do pretty good. And I'm really excited to see what they can do out on track. For my dark horse, because you know I'm gonna share the love because they all year they've needed it, except for now. But I'm still gonna do it. I'm going with the '66 Ford for moral support.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. They're gonna need it. Well, we'll see. They've turned it around. We'll see if they can get her done this weekend.
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh man. All right, and GTD, I'm going with the number 12 Vassy Sullivan machine this weekend. I like this team a lot. And I think I don't know, they've fallen apart throughout this back half of the season for them. Maybe this is the weekend to turn it around. Like Tom said with their pro car, I think that the AM cars could do just the same. I think they'll turn it around this weekend. Then my dark horse, I'm gonna go with the number 7 Inception McLaren. I think that they've been a meme. They definitely need some help and can they finish a race? A lot like I said with AO. Can they just finish a race, man? Can they just put it all together for 6 hours?
All right, for my favorite, I'm going with number 12 as well. Homer for Vass Sullivan. So, um, not much else to say there except their spotter driver. I forget his name. Um, absolute, absolute Chad. What an awesome story he has. And then for my dark horse, I'm doing it again. It's the 55 Proton Ford, baby.
Hell
And
yeah.
for moral support, they Ford's been doing pretty good. Let's see what they can do at Indy. I think that I think we should be pretty present, or we should be pretty surprised on how fast the Fords can be at Indy. So I think it's going to be Ford's weekend actually.
Hell yeah. I did too, man. I'm excited. This is gonna be a great race. No NASCAR on Sunday, so I get to just tune into this race from start to finish. I'm excited about that. So uh yes, great slate of racing. We got Bristol, Singapore, and Indianapolis. I don't think you could ask for any better than that lineup of races for a weekend, dude. I'm excited. All right, last little bit of thing here. Let's do our NASCAR fantasy. I think I might as well get that out of the way before we're done here. My five driver lineup. I'm gonna go Larson, Bowman, Bush, Truex, and Hamlin. And that's purely, I think that was your top 5 in the spring. So I'm just being optimistic that they're bringing the same tire back.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Blaney, Hamlin, Busher, Reddick, and I am gonna make a Hail Mary here, because he's really gonna need it in order to move on to the next round. I'm going Briscoe.
Hell yeah. I like that. All right. Now matchups, we got Larson and Hamlin. I'm gonna go Larson over Hamlin because I think Hamlin's gonna get eliminated. I put him in my 5 driver lineup because I think he's gonna get a lot of stage points, but I think he's gonna wreck late. That's gonna eliminate him from the playoffs. So yeah, take Hamlin over or Larson over Hamlin.
I'm gonna go the opposite for a points run, and I'm gonna go Hamlin over Larson because, I mean, you're either choosing Chokemaster or Hung Money. Which one?
Oh man, that is such a loaded matchup. All right, the next one is Truex and Keselowski. I'm gonna take Truex over Keselowski. Just an optimistic thinking, man. I just don't want to see it end right now for Truex. I'm just gonna try and put that juju in the air for him.
I'm gonna go Kez over Truex. Just I feel like the dude's just over it. I'm not like I just don't want to deal with this anymore. And Kez is in it for the long run. I feel like he's going to be driving for at least a couple more years before he announces retirement. But I sincerely think he has a fire underneath him, and he is going to be searching for the best result all night long.
Heck yeah, man. All right, next one is Gibbs and Briscoe. I don't know, man. Briscoe has had a really interesting round. That wreck at Atlanta
It's a
made up a
good
lot of
matchup.
points at Watkins Glen. Does it keep the momentum rolling in advance? I mean, these guys are both the two guys tied in points on the cut line. Oh, I'm gonna do Gibbs over Briscoe, and that's purely because I don't know how much gas they've got left in that Stewart Haas tank right now. I just don't know, man. It's hard to say.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. I'm gonna take Briscoe over Gibbs because um I don't know what's going on with Gibbs, man. I just don't think he has it. Uh, Not this year. He doesn't. Which is really disappointing because I mean, you and I both had him at multiple race wins this year, and it just has not happened. Briscoe, he got a win. He's
Yeah,
got a win. He's got some huge momentum rolling into Bristol. I think that carries on. I think that not only does he finish better than Gibbs, I think he moves on to the next round. Um, and quite possibly could win the race.
heck yeah. All right, the final matchup is Blaney and Elliott. I'm gonna go Blaney, and I don't even need to explain myself on
Yeah, yeah,
this one.
same, same.
Alrighty,
There's
that's
not
our
much to
NASCAR
say.
lineups for this weekend. Oh man, so we're getting this can be an interesting weekend, man. Championships are being decided, or the fates of people's championships being decided. A great doubleheader on Thursday. I can't wait for that. That's gonna be fun. Watch Zillage sweep that night. That's gonna be fun. And then obviously we got some Indianapolis with some world for some IMSA racing, and then another interesting race, Formula One. It's gonna maybe shake up the drivers and constructor standings there as well. So another fun weekend of racing. I can't wait for it, and the watch party also with you guys here on Saturday for the Cup Series race at Bristol. We'll find out live together who's advancing, who's going home, and who choked it or who clutched it. I guess is what we're gonna decide and find out. So that should be fun. Make sure you guys tune in. I've got it scheduled on the channel now, so you guys could turn on your notification and come join us when that starts. Put us on one screen, put the race on the other, and just come interact with us in the chat as if you were watching the race right next to us. It should be a great time. Super excited for that this Saturday night. Also, make sure you guys go follow us on all of our socials. We got X, Patreon, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, as well as streaming on Kick. So make sure to go give us a follow on Kick as well to help support us there as we're trying to grow and stream on there. And then also Thursday, Tom, what are we doing Thursday, man?
Ooh, we've got that new F1 series. Look, there was a lot of memes to be made with that whole ordeal. Jay, it got a little heated with Ricardo.
I did. I
I,
did.
I got a little heated with Perez. Um, well, I guess that's a pretty good precursor to what we witnessed at Azerbaijan with Perez. Um,
Yeah.
we could have predicted the future right there. But yeah, so hey, look, we're going to be racing again this week on Thursday. We're racing in Australia. You know what, Jay?
I think it's Australia.
Yeah, but that Thursday is going to be the same race. It's going to be the same time
Oh
as the race.
yeah.
You know what? Should we push it back a week?
Yeah, let's push it back a week. I
I
like
think
that
we
idea.
should. I think
Yeah.
we should push it back a week because
Yeah.
it's a big weekend coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should. All right. Well,
Yeah, I did think about that. Yeah.
next week we're gonna be racing at Australia. We got some car upgrades coming in. Cause come to find out, Kick Sauber doesn't even have wing adjustments for their front wings.
It's crazy, dude.
Crazy. Can you
Oh
believe
man.
that Andretti got kicked out of becoming a Formula One team, but Sauber over here doesn't even have front wing adjustments?
Oh man.
Unbelievable.
It's nuts,
Anyways,
man.
so we've got some upgrades coming. We got nothing for Melbourne, but that's okay. We're going to be absolute menaces on track again, and gonna try to do as much carnage or inflict as much carnage as we can to try and get some points going. But I'm coming for Perez. Jay is going to absolutely make a meme out of Ricardo again, and we're gonna go for points. So Um, yeah, we had a really, really good learning fun time with that deal, and I'm really excited. That was really, really fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was so much fun. Just streaming on two different streaming platforms. We had Tom on YouTube, me on Kick, so if you were watching, you could pull us up on two different screens and can watch both perspectives at the same time. How cool is that, dude? I don't think
Yeah.
anybody else is doing that, so that was pretty
Mm-mm.
freaking awesome and fun. So, yeah, we'll do that next Thursday. That was a good call. I didn't even think about it because we have the two doubleheader races that we definitely can't miss, man. Like that'll definitely be on my watch list. So, yeah, next Thursday we'll get that scheduled for you guys in the next couple days, so you guys can go tune in for that. But yeah, that's all I got for tonight, man. I really appreciate everybody tuning in, watching this podcast. Sorry about the beginning. I don't understand why my OBS keeps doing that stuff. Get it sorted out for the next one. So we appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys go check out our merch store. Go buy some Digga Boys swag, like this hat that I'm wearing here. Big Daddy IMSA. We got some good IMSA racing this weekend. So rep that, rep the boys. It helps support us so much. And yeah, that's all I got. Thank you guys again for tuning in. It's been another awesome episode of the Full Send Half Mass podcast. We'll be back next week for some more awesome, great motorsports talk. And with that being said, have a good night. We'll catch y'all in the next one.